Hello Internet, Lieutenant Ellis with the 299 Scouts. Dangerous skills for dangerous places. Day 6 of lockdown. Hopefully you guys are holding up fine, not running out of any supplies, not running out of toilet paper, and having to resort to using your hand or something like that. But if you are, don't worry about it, man. The apocalypse doesn't discriminate. The apocalypse doesn't judge you. Today, for day 6, drill number 6, we're going to be covering reloads. Alright, so now the topic of reloading as a high priority number 6, it's kind of debatable. So on one hand, I've been to tactical classes where you've got like a loadout of like 6 pistol magazines, like you're going to be there for like a 2-hour firefight. Do I believe that I'm going to have to sit there and fight through 6 pistol magazines? I fucking hope not, and if I am, I'm going to move. On the opposite end of that is John Carrera with Active Self-Protection, an awesome YouTube channel where he analyzes CCTV, badge cam, dash cam, and he goes through it, and his deduction is that of the thousands of videos he's seen, if you eliminate police encounters, the 1,000 videos he's seen, regular everyday Joes, the amount of times he's seen somebody do a reload is like once or twice. Now, I might think that's a little bit of a survivor's bias, where if maybe they weren't carrying another magazine, or maybe if running out of ammo or being close to running out of ammo was enough for them to break contact and run rather than try to fumble through a reload. So somewhere between those two is the actual reality. Alright, for reloads, let's just talk through it as step by step. Step 1, your gun is going to run dry. The slide hopefully is going to lock back unless you have a faulty magazine. If you do have a faulty magazine, label that magazine, set it off on the side, use it for something else, but having that feedback that you are empty and you're not running around on an empty chamber expecting a bang, and then you go for your shot and you get a click. Now, I know that on the Beretta, I've got a really bad habit because I can't reach the magazine button all that effectively, like without breaking my grip. I've got to shift the pistol around in my hand. I've got this really bad habit of kind of tossing the gun, shifting it over in order to get a firm purchase, and I flip the gun so my thumb can actuate that magazine release. And the bad part about having that flip is that one of these days, I'm going to drop my pistol. It's not so much a big problem on the M17. The M17 has a much more ergonomic magazine release for me. If you end up getting a pistol that you have difficulty reaching that magazine release, a better solution than doing the flip like I do is use your support hand. And what you're going to do is you're going to use your middle or your index finger on your support hand, and you're going to roll the gun into a place where you can actuate that release. So I'm just going to the gun's going to run dry, and I'm going to hit the release. What I always do is I hit the release, and then I elbow myself in my kit. I elbow myself in my plate carrier or my flick, or just my stomach if I'm playing close on this. So I hit the magazine and I elbow myself, and that, if you ever have you ever seen like a magazine kind of just get caught halfway through and people can flip it out or whatever, when you elbow yourself in your equipment, that magazine should fall out. The second reason why I elbow myself is that I am maintaining a consistent distance between my magazine well and my body. If I'm out here fully reloading, and some people will do this, where they'll try to find their magazine, and while this is consistent, it's kind of hard. It's kind of a pain in the ass to try to reload all the way out here. So I elbow myself in, and brings it in closer. It brings it into my workspace. Now, workspace is kind of contentious as well. Some people have a really extreme workspace where they're like looking through their trigger guard and they have their gun all the way up here like this. I don't know about you, man, but I don't find this any easier to reload than if I had it in a more natural position. Like, this is like I'm taking the normal challenges of reloading and I'm making it at this awkward angle in within my depth perception. Like, my eyes are crossed trying to do a reload here, and I'm not sure. I know what they're thinking. I can keep my eyes up, I can scan and everything like that, but honestly, I don't need to come that extreme in order to do that same task. Slide locks back. I rotate the gun in my hand if I need be, to press that magazine release, elbow myself in my kit. Simultaneously, I'm reaching back and grasping a magazine out of my magazine pouch, and I'm drawing straight out. I have a high grip on it where I'm actually putting my index finger up on the bullet. I feel that first bullet in that magazine. And the reason why I'm doing that is that I can clap my hands. My hands can close my eyes. I can find my hands just fine in the dark. So if I keep my hand high on this and I keep my finger high on this, I can guide it straight to the magazine without looking. If I grab it here, and sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I'll screw it up and I grab it like here. I can totally whiff that magazine reload, and I often do, where I come in, and it just comes off to the side like that. I missed the hole completely. So keeping a high grasp, putting your finger on that first bullet, indexing on that first bullet, helps your hand find hand, as the Israelis would say, and insert that magazine home. Once I have that magazine home, you have a number of options: rack and forward, magazine in, and hit the slide release with my support thumb, magazine in, and hit the slide release with my dominant thumb. And depending on who you are, that may or may not be easy for you, and depending on which weapon system you are. I know on the M17 it's far enough back, but it's kind of obscured by the safety that they kind of just tacked on the 320. You can always come over the top and rack and release, and of course some people also prefer to slingshot and run the gun forward. Doesn't matter, figure out what works for you. Personally, I think that the most efficient is magazine in, and as I slide up, I use my support thumb to hit the slide release before resetting my grip, resetting those pins, pressing out with my thumb, and getting a front sight focus for the follow-up string of rounds that I'm going to need to finish this fight. So to conduct this drill, I've got an empty magazine inserted into my pistol. I've got the slide locked to the rear as if I had just run out of ammo. I've got a full reload of dummy rounds ready to go in a magazine pouch. If you need to throw it in your pocket or stick it into your belt, you can do that, but I've got a link in the description for a quick little mag pouch that you can run. It's cheaper. Okay, so I've got our shot timer, 2.5 seconds par time. A little slow on that follow-up shot. So I go ahead and eject that shell, put it back into my magazine pouch, pick up my dropped magazine, and prep for the next one. A little rusty then. Rusty. Alright, so that's day 6, priority number 6. I don't really consider it a priority over moving and shooting or shooting from compromised positions, which we're definitely going to cover. I just wanted to give it here early so that you could practice reloading efficiently and reloading in a consistent manner as you run through these drills. So, you know, when I'm at the range, I don't really have like an admin load where, you know, an admin load, I might have my head down, I put the magazine in, I just kind of like, okay, and I start practicing for marksmanship. Even if I am working on only marksmanship and that's the drill, I still treat it as an opportunity. I might not go at full speed, but I do treat it as an opportunity to get a speed reload, an emergency reload in. That's just one extra rep, one additional thing that I can task stack with working on marksmanship. The odds are low, but not zero, that I will have to reload my gun under pressure, under attack, and I'm gonna need that time pressure in there. I always do carry a spare magazine when I carry a pistol, just because I've had magazines go completely bad, and just some magazines are just bad juju, and even if I haven't gone through my entire 16 rounds or whatever, I just ditch that magazine and put a new magazine in there just because I don't want that bad juju plaguing me for the entire magazine, no matter how many immediate actions I can do. I'll get into this later, but I only have one pouch that I reload. I might have several magazine pouches, but I have one magazine pouch that's my hot pocket, and that's where I keep my live reload. Anything after that, I load from that one pouch, and then if there's a lull in the firefight, I'll move additional mags into that hot pocket. That way I keep my my source of ammunition consistent, and I'm not reaching around and grabbing mags across my entire plate carrier or something. It always just comes from the same place. Alright, so tomorrow we're going to start incorporating all the skills we covered, plus reloads, plus learning about cadence and your rate of fire and how you're going to manage that speed and accuracy dynamic under time pressure. Until then, manage your supplies, ration if you need to. Tell me in the comments how many rolls of toilet paper you have on reserve. I'm curious to find out where we're all at. Alright, be safe, take care, and watch your supplies.